I ask Aarti Sharma if she is listening to me as is in the session? What does motivation mean to you? Is Aarti Sharma there in the meeting? Or I can move on to the next one. Shivani Marwaha is there in the meeting from DCM Presidency. Emotion to be pacified, or it is a skill to be learned. It can be sheer joy of accomplishing a task in hand. So the motivation carries different meaning for each one of us. So let us define it, what the motivation exactly is. When we define motivation, it is a process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behavior. It involves biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate behavior. It's the force that causes you to act, whether it is as simple as getting a glass of water to quench your thirst, or it can be a higher order motivation like creating the masterpiece, poetic masterpiece, Meghdut by Adi Kavi Kalidas, or it could be the motivation for the creator of Gitanjali by Guru Rabindranath Tagore. We find in our lives that certain people outperform others. So motivation is the force behind conquering the unfathomable Mount Everest by the blind middle school teacher Eric Carl Shimpton, or by an amputee from India, Arunima Sinha. It could be the passion that could empower 16-year-old Sachin Tendulkar to be a master blaster, or it could be a 12-year-old Abhimanyu Mishra to become the youngest chess grandmaster. 11-year-old Agastya Jaiswal could pass class 12 exam, or just a 7-year-old girl Abhijita Gupta could write a book and could earn a royalty for her work. It could be the inner drive for Somesh Sarang to design a robot just at the age of 4 years. The list stands endless. And I think it is this motivation only which has brought us together on this virtual platform and will keep us together in the coming 60 minutes, discovering for our own self what the motivation means to us. So to begin with, we can say it is any kind of activity you take up to persist with it, to keep moving slowly and steadily, inching towards your goal, enjoying the process, staying inspired and motivated till you reach your destination, till you succeed in your pursuit. Broadly speaking, the motivation, it has the two basic motives behind it. It can be either the fear of failure, or it could be the ecstatic joy of success. I think the second one suits us the best because we really wish to enjoy the life. So today we'll be focusing more on the second factor, the success. Why to focus on success? Because we understand nothing smells like success, nothing tastes like success, and nothing ever succeeds like success. So we are on the journey that will lead us to success in the coming days. And dear friends, there is a direct correlation between the success and the motivation. As this slide shows you, some people just want something to happen. Some wish if it could happen. But there are still some people who just get up and make the things happen. So this is what the motivation is. When you are passionate about something, you are motivated to do something, you will think about it all the time and it will wake you up early in the morning. It will make you sacrifice all your sleep and you will be able to visualize your dreams turning into reality with your eyes wide open. It is the motivation only that help us going. It says there is a correlation between disciplined and the persistent motivation for anything fruitful to happen. So this motivation helps us to energize us, it directs us, and it helps to have a sustained positive behavior over a long period of time. And dear teachers, I think by this time you are all into the session. Let me ask another question. If I have with me Roshni Sharma, if you can unmute yourself and say, what motivates you and what do we need to stay motivated? My dear audience, please unmute yourself if Roshni Sharma is there with us. Please unmute yourself. When you are not audible. Roshni Sharma, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What motivates you or what do you need to stay motivated? That is my question. Okay, can we have the next one, ma'am? Anita Saxena from DAV Public School. And rest all, please keep yourself mute because a lot of echo is there. Okay, I'm getting some responses in the chat box. Enthusiasm is the one factor given by someone. Another one, Mandeep Kaur says something. Passion motivates me. Very good, ma'am. And then encouragement by Mandeep Kaur. From CFC school, we are getting positive aura from Aruna Sharma, positivity, and many, many more good answers. Thank you so much for supporting and being live in the session. Let me summarize it for you all. I say that what do we need to stay motivated? We need a constant flow of encouragement to keep on the track. Then definitely we need an occasional loving pat at the back. And then most important, firm yet disciplined hand holding whenever we find ourselves in trouble. And to underline all this, we need to have a strong desire to keep us going. We must be passionate about the task what we are taking up. As the famous person Napoleon Hill puts it, desire is the starting point of all achievement. Dear teachers, please see the word achievement. It is not just acting, it's not just the action, it is achievement. So if you desire to have something, to achieve something, you must have a strong passion. Not a hope, not just a wish, but a pulsating desire transcends everything. So if you are very passionate about something, the things will happen and you will be able to hit the target you wish for. So this motivation basically has three components. When we have to begin with a process, we need activation or stimulus to start. Then we need direction to persist on it, to continue with it. And to give our 100% to accomplish it, we need intensity, we need to focus our thoughts and turn our dreams into reality. Basically, this motivation can be of two types: extrinsic motivation and the intrinsic motivation. As the name indicates, extrinsic motivation involves the motivation from the outside factors. It is a reward-driven behavior. The behavior can be in the lieu of some money, fame, some rewards, some incentives, promotion, academic grades, and sometimes it can be praise or punishment even that can motivate us to do some kind of activity. On the other hand, intrinsic motion is derived from within. It is coming from our own natural behavior, which is personally rewarding. It is performed for some inherent satisfaction, not for some separable consequences. Intrinsic motivation can lead to the development of sense of competence, that is self-worth and efficacy, sense of autonomy, self-control, choice over your action, and the sense of belongingness or relatedness to the purpose, to the activity we are doing. Stephen Covey, a famous author, puts it, intrinsic motivation is a fire from within. If someone tries to light that fire under you, chances are it will burn very briefly. So what does it tell us? That intrinsic motivation has to be derived from within one's own self. It is the self-discovery. You have to spark this motivation yourself. It has to be discovered yourself. So I can say that intrinsic motivation is the journey of self-discovery. So if we use the chat box, if I can find out how you stay yourself motivated or how you keep yourself motivated, if you can type in the chat box, we would like to see what do you understand, that how do you keep yourself motivated. So I'm looking for your responses in the chat box. Yes, please. Anyone? Self-motivated, very good. Urge to achieve more keeps you motivated. Self-satisfaction for Harmeet Kaur ma'am. Aruna Sharma bounced back after failure, good one. Motivation comes from self-confidence from Jaspreet Kapila, great. By remaining positive. Harpinder Kaur ma'am is saying for meeting higher expectations. Kirti Verma ma'am, always self-determined, staying focused. So many good responses we are looking at. Let me summarize for all of you that how can we sum up what we are motivated about. It says avoiding pain or seeking pleasure. Everything, everyone is driven by these two twin forces in life. The motivation can be derived from avoidance of pain or fear of failure. So people do something when they fear pain or failure will be there if they don't act. Sometimes it can be seeking pleasure or trying to relish the nectar of success. For some more dedicated people, it can be elevating the suffering for others. Great example in our history, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, Hind ki Chadar, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur. He sacrificed his life for the welfare of the other. Then Mother Teresa, another great example in front of us. She was inspired to work throughout her life. Inspired to work throughout her life. And then we see Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, their philanthropic campaign could raise a donation worth $500 billion to help the needy. So it is the desire to alleviate the suffering for others. I just take a pause. Ma'am Paramjeet Kaur, please, I just could see a hand raised. Is there any query, ma'am? Okay, then I'll continue, ma'am. For the other people, it could be the desire to be the best. For some people, it is this desire that is flowing in the nerves of athletes like Usain Bolt, Muhammad Ali or Abhinav Bindra, who could challenge and overcome any limitation because in their lives, in their understanding, there is no number two. All they know is to be number one. So that empowers them to work towards their goals. Some people, they are motivated for work, for power, for fame, for recognition, for rewards. So there are different reasons for the people to stay motivated and keep working hard. So we have tried to just put up it in three broad phases. Then different theories they have been put forth to explain what this exactly motivation means. One theory optimal theory that was proposed by Claude Bernard. It's a theory of homeostasis, balance. Another theory, psychoanalytical theory, given by Sigmund Freud, laying emphasis on unconscious mannerism. Humanistic theory, propounded by Abraham Maslow and the Carl Rogers. This humanistic theory is the best known and the most influential theory of all. This theory talks about the striving tendency of an individual for realizing his potential and becoming fully functional. Everybody has the urge to become fully functional. So today, we will be focusing more on this humanistic theory. According to this humanistic theory, for a particular set of behaviors exhibited, there are 5 levels of motives or needs to be fulfilled. Biological motives. It is the basic needs to survive, as simple like quenching your thirst or satisfying your appetite. Safety and security needs. To be in the safe and the secure environment. Love and belongingness needs to be recognized and welcomed in one's own surroundings. Esteem needs or self-confidence, that means self-esteem to be appreciated and approved by the company of the others. And the most important of all is self-actualization. What does this self-actualization means? Important thing to understand. Self-actualization means to actualize yourself, to become one, and to become what one can become. So important point to understand, self-actualization means to become one and to become what one can become. So self-actualization means to actualize yourself. It is the highest level of development of one's potential. It is the pinnacle of all human needs. It's the stage where the actual magic happens and the God's ultimate creation unfolds and discovers itself. It's that stage which everyone should aspire for. You just see this pyramid given by this Maslow. Everyone struggles to get the basic needs fulfilled before realizing this stage of self-actualization, because it is the final stage in this pyramid. And it is imperative to understand here that one level of needs must be fulfilled at least partially before the activation of next higher level. That means physiological basic needs, food, water, warmth, rest. Agar ye milengi, then only the person will be able to move to the next stage. The person has to be in the safe and secure environment. And when these two needs are fulfilled, at least partially, then next level, belongingness or relatedness, leading to self-esteem, and then finally self-actualization. And most of the people, as the pyramid shape indicates, most of the people, they end up their lives by stage 3 and 4 only. That is up to self-esteem needs. And rarely few people in their life, they are able to reach and realize the stage of self-actualization. And nowadays, problems are more, problems are multiplied. What we see that before actualization of self-actualization stage of our children are confined inside their homes with their parents. We need to, as a school and as the teachers, parents together, we have a joint responsibility for leading our children to the stage of self-actualization so that they are able to discover their own passion, especially during these COVID times, tough and traumatic times, when the children are confined to the 4 walls of their houses. They are not able to interact with their mentors and they are being guided online only. The effective home-school collaboration has emerged out as one of the vitally important component that needs to be strengthened further. Parents are actually the experts on their children, as they have accumulated a vast repository of knowledge about their descendants. They have practically participated and witnessed each stage of their growth and development. Parents are who are the ones who have well understood the limits and the limitations of their own children and can collaborate with the teachers to push them out of their comfort zones and support them to explore the possibilities around. One of the studies says parents' unconditional love for their children is the single greatest and the most underutilized natural resource. So this resource we need to tap, we need to win the parents' confidence so that parents and the school, they can move together hand in hand to groom the personalities of our children. Moreover, parents become important because the teachers, they keep on changing at different levels. Self-actualization needs are widely different for an adult at the prime of his career or a kindergarten or a primary level learner. They have different needs. It is the fluid nature of this self-actualization. It is impossible for a teacher to teach the students to actualize and to remain actualized throughout life. All the teachers and the school can do, we can together offer them the necessary tools and support to lead them into the right direction. Now you see the corona times, the tough pandemic times, it is still hovering around over our heads. Its devastating impacts reverberating every corner of the globe, taking lives and snatching livelihood from many. It has erected huge challenges before the teaching fraternity to continue online teaching when the whole world was placed under lockdown. India, where most of the learning was happening inside the well-defined four walls of the classroom with a sporadic use of technology. Education of our children has been placed under great threat. This current pandemic has added an extra layer of uncertainty or uncertainty about the future of our children. With no disciplined classroom environment to spark the inspiration to work. Many students and the teachers, they have been gripped tightly and they are under the demotivating forces. What we get? Disinterested and disengaged students, not understanding the gravity of learning crisis they are passing through. They are fast losing their interest, concentration, and the focus. Teachers, they are also passing through a very difficult stage. If you look at this slide, the teacher's plight, it says blame everything on teachers. Everybody is trying to run away from the responsibility and is fixing up for the teacher for everything. And when you read the comments box of the students, sorry to say, but the teacher bashing has emerged out as one of the favorite national sports. Very sorry but true, a vicious cycle has set in and it is posing great problem to our worthy teachers. Our faculty, the teachers, they have got to walk a tightrope to engage with the students, working extended hours online, transitioning, learning and adopting technology as this is the only medium of communication with the students online. Teachers are facing unique challenges every day, but hats off to the mighty teachers, navigating through and staying motivated, and they are motivating the students as well as their families. Things are tough, dear teachers. We do understand. We do understand that things are tough, but dear teachers, still there is a ray of hope. And let me give you a break. Let me give you a break in between. I know the teachers are in the habit of speaking more, listening less. Just unmute yourself, reflex your vocal cords, and just remind ourselves that we shall overcome. Please sing along, unmute yourself, and let's have a power break. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday.
overcome.
We shall
Let's
overcome.
have one more trick.
Overcome.
We shall overcome.
We shall
We
overcome.
Yes.
We shall
Shall
overcome.
overcome. Never shall overcome.
I do believe we shall overcome
Very good,
something.
very good, very good. So let's have another energizer. Let's have another energizer. Dear teachers, just put forth your right arm. Just stretch your hand in front. Embrace yourself and give a booster pat at your back. Well done, teacher. You are awesome. Well done, teachers. You are awesome. Clap for yourself. You are awesome. You are awesome. We are proud of you. I think energized. Yes, we can move ahead. Things are tough, no doubt, but let's move ahead. And coming to the most important section of today's webinar, let's explore on how to overcome this seemingly invincible challenge. To stay motivated and keeps other motivated. Invincible challenge. But let's see what we can do about it. The first comes boomerang principle. What it implies that what one gives, one gets in return. It's based on the Newton's third law. To every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. So dear colleagues, keep yourself high-spirited, keep your students constructively engaged and motivated. And most important, please do not forget to ornate your beautiful face with a beautiful smile. It's probable that you will be reciprocated back and the student response will act like a catalyst for your own motivation. Because motivation begets motivation. It's infectious. A positive flow of energy from a teacher will definitely be reciprocated by the student, and the accomplishment of a student becomes a great source of motivation in return. Now, let me ask any one of you, what is the happiest day in the life of a teacher? Any one of you, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Ma'am Anju Mahajan, can we have a response from your side? When is the happiest day in the teacher's life? We can listen to Mr. Alok Kathuria if he's there. When is the happiest day in the life of a teacher? सबसे ज्यादा खुश टीचर कब होता है?
Excuse me,
Yes.
submit here.
Yes, ma'am, please.
When an old student meets you and praises you, and he or she gives rewards of your teaching to you. That I think is the happiest day of a
Getting the
teacher.
reward back. Getting the reward back. Great, ma'am. Great. Great listening.
From student, from old student.
From your own student. Very good. Sujata Narang is saying, ma'am is saying, when every student reach their goals. Right, ma'am. Anyone can unmute and speak, please. Natasha ma'am is saying, we get reward from students. Jasbir ma'am is saying, when the class is filled with positive and constructive noise. Very good. When I uplift any student in any area of life, Aruna Sharma ma'am is saying, please someone unmute and let us listen to your voice as well.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, Kitty Verma here.
Right, ma'am.
Yes, when the students are sharing their weak points, like the way they are struggling with the what particular topic they are struggling with, when the teachers are going to work on it and the students are getting success, then I think that will be the happiest day, or that is the happiest day for the teacher. When the students are meeting their expectations, that is the happiest day. I think so.
Yeah. Very rightly said, ma'am. Very right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Somebody, when a student becomes a motivator, another good feedback. and Ma'am Navidisha, when the student realize our hard work that we put on them. Ritu Arora ma'am, then when students can handle life efficiently, Aarti ma'am. So very good responses we are getting. I am thankful to all of you. Let me add one more point to it. What makes a teacher happiest? When the board results are declared and the teachers are busy counting the number of merits, counting hundred on hundreds. And when we see somebody they were doubtful about passing even is passing in first division, that makes the teacher happiest. God bless the great teachers who could find their happiness in the success of their students. One thing is, if things are tough, here Dr. Reinhold, he gives us a very beautiful quote. It states, God grant me the serenity to accept something I cannot change. The first part, God grant me the serenity to accept something I cannot change. And then it says, courage to change the things I can. And then it comes to the most important part, and the wisdom to know the difference. So understand, wisdom to know the difference. When we see something tough happening in front, तो उसी समय छोड़ नहीं देना अपने हथियार की मैं नहीं कर सकता. First, look around and find out how can you make the difference. And if you cannot, then accept it that you cannot make the difference. But most importantly, you must have this much of wisdom that you are able to differentiate between the two. Coming to the next point, building on the competence perceptions. In the varied classroom situation, designing a task that is challenging for accomplishing students while not being too overwhelming for others. Helping the children believe that they can do it and then hand-holding them to achieve it. Hand-holding them to achieve it. Acknowledging and celebrating even bite-sized progress made by our students. Keeping in mind too easy and too challenging tasks. They sometimes becomes demotivating rather. Giving them flexibility, chances to make choices, it can act as a promoter or accelerator for motivation. The idea is to let them choose the content to be taken up for e-learning, time to prepare and present or explore further. This motivation accelerates if the students are given at least some wiggle room. Don't be too strict with your students. Give them some wiggle room and let them set the timelines for themselves. I'm getting just seeing at a hand raised by Ma'am Khushvinder. If there is some query, Ma'am Khushvinder Kaur, something you wish to ask for? Okay, we'll move ahead. And if there is some query left unanswered, we'll be attending at the end of the session. Next comes bridging the gaps, a reality check. Helping the students to understand the relevance of what they do or learn is very important. Let them comprehend the most important why behind the process before starting with how. That means the purpose of every activity being carried out must be very clear in the minds of your children, and then only they will receive you well. Helping them discover the value attached with it, where in their real life the concept or the topic being taught finds its application, will really act like a booster dose. Then an important quote goes like, believing that there is a bridge from where you are to where you want to be is 99% of the battle. And the other 1% is to cross it. So help your children believe that nothing is impossible and there are ways and means to cover up the things, to cover the things in a very nice manner. Teachers and the parents in this situation must act like strong bridges to help the children to land in their future lives very gracefully, well equipped with the facts. And the next comes motivation over marks. COVID-19 induced anxiety has made learning and retention even more difficult than ever. Our age-old obsession with marks and grades may inculcate short-term extrinsic motivation in the students, but this obsession can hamper the innate instinct of the children to self-actualize, to find their intrinsic, everlasting source of self-inspiration, their own motivation. No doubt, the marks are the measure of level of achievement, but they must be treated as the natural outcome of the learning process. They must be treated as the outcome, not in front. And next come, spotting the trio of spark coaches. A leading study suggests that the people who have found the purpose in their lives and excelled in the fields of their choice, they had at least 3 spark coaches in their lives. People who took genuine interest in their lives beyond the books and the school and helped them to find and ignite their passion. Teachers were perfectly positioned and were traditionally fulfilling this role very well, along with the parents and the peers. But under the current scenario, the students sitting far away from their parents and the teachers, it's the parents only who can and ought to fill this vacuum. And they have to keep themselves focused on the right track. No doubt teachers still need to lend an ear and listen to them more oftenly, more patiently, but the role of the parents has multiplied. Parents need to be explained by us only about their augmented duties they are expected to perform, especially during these corona times. And next comes building on the shaken self-esteem. With the rampant online classes, study at home culture prevailing around, with the lines between home and the schools blurred, falling levels of learning, ever falling grades, unrestrained and often unfair performance in the online examination is leading to the shaking the self-esteem of the children. Helping them restore their self-belief, reinforcing the core values of honesty and perseverance, making self-reflection an integral part of every topic being taught can help them to build their self-esteem. It can motivate them to be even more stronger to face the changed new realities with confidence and to conquer them. And next we'll talk about the 4 important C's. An advanced study says there is no dearth of educated people, but it is hard to find employable people. Everyone after graduating looks forward to get a respectable livelihood, and for that, along with acquiring bookish knowledge, they need to be motivated to acquire, extremely important, these 4 C's. Communication, to be able to express your viewpoint. Collaboration, an important element to be able to work as one team, striving to achieve a common higher goal. Critical thinking, being able to analyze and evaluate the factual evidence. Creativity, being able to use his or her imagination coupled with the acquired knowledge to make something new or being able to create something different and more valuable stuff. It is the joint responsibility of our parents and the students to create such environment where the children can develop these important 21st century skills. During the process of teaching and learning itself, because there can't be a separate curriculum or the specified book to learn these skills. All we can do is just to provide them the required support from the back and let them learn from their own experiences. And let me underline it, required support from the back. As this example says, you cannot teach a youngster to ride a bicycle by holding the handle of his or her cycle. You just need to provide them support from the back, support from the sides. Do not impose ready-made solutions to their problems. Let them discover their solutions for the problems themselves. Nowadays, we see the keep quiet of your classroom has been replaced by mute yourself all the time. In our online classes, we are saying, mute yourself, give them the chances to self-express, allow them to unmute them so that they are able to express and they are able to find solutions to their own problems. And next we talk about verbal and non-verbal communication. Teachers, you are a role model for the children. You must understand that each word coming out of your mouth provokes a feeling, a specific emotion, and a distinct action. Verbal and non-verbal communication or behavior or gestures performed publicly, they hold an equal importance. It may be perceived consciously or unconsciously, but these words can become a great source of motivation or demotivation for them. And next come motivated tutor, motivated tutee. This slide shows the success cycle has got two wheels. Each one empowers the another one, teacher and the tutee. Here the parents and the school can enter into a collaborative partnership of mutual trust, mutual admiration, and the mutual respect that will lead to produce the motivated learners. Now coming to the most important point of today's presentation, embrace the change. Last but not the least, but dear friends, embrace the change. And for explaining you this point, let me narrate the story of an old eagle with you. Story you might have heard, but I would like you to focus once again on this story, revisit this story. What it says, eagle is a bird in its species that has got a long lifespan of 70 years. And it's a bird that is a majestic bird, flies high in the sky, so many qualities we're learning about it. But by the time it acquires the age of 40 years, it has got two tough decisions to make. By the time it is 40, its beaks become curved. It loses its penetration power. It loses its gripping power. Right? Its talons, they don't remain flexible anymore. They become long and flaccid. They don't remain flexible. Its wings, they become too heavy and too clumsy, and they often stick to the chest of the eagle, and the eagle finds it difficult to fly anymore. So it is hampering the flight of the bird. It's hampering it to prey. So what happens? The eagle has to take some decision. Either it should die of hunger, or it should think of rejuvenating itself, rediscovering itself. And what it does, it flies high up on a nest on a rocky, barren surface, on a cliff top, and it has to undergo a long process of 150 days of change. What it does, it strikes its beak repeatedly on the rocky surface till it breaks its beak. And within days, it's replaced by a fresh, more penetrating and a sharp beak. And using that beak, it pulls out its talons, overgrown, aged, worn-out talons, soon to be replaced by sharp, penetrating talons again. Using the talons and the beak, it pulls out its tired, worn-out, clumsy feathers, soon to be replaced by young, fresh feathers again. And here goes the eagle. And here's the flight of the bird, another bird. And the eagle flies again with the same power, the same majestic flight, and lives that majestic day 30 more years to come. So here lies the lesson for all of us, dear teachers. Whatever limitations, shortcomings we are having currently, whatever is stopping us, whatever is inhibiting us to adapt ourselves to this changing scenario, fast changing scenario during Corona times. Maybe it is adapting the technology more often. Whatever is stopping us, what we can do ourselves, we can rejuvenate ourselves, shun all inhibitions, throw away all limitations, and be ready to birth of a new teacher. And if an eagle can do at the age of 40, why can't we? So the problems are common to all. Problems everyone is facing. But the attitude with which we handle our problem, that makes the difference. Stay positive. Keep on giving positive affirmations to yourself. Be positive to others. Motivate yourself so that you are able to motivate others. Things may be tough for the moment, but it's not going to remain like this forever. Remember that Amir Khan attitude. All is well. Definitely all is well. If it is not well at the moment, it's going to be well. And dear teachers, if it is not well, we have the power within. We can make it well. And that should be the attitude that you can make the things work, you can make the things well. And if you are convinced with your own self, you will be able to convince your own self. So with these words, we pray together to the Almighty that He blesses us with lots of courage, with lots of wisdom and conviction, that we will keep ourselves motivated so that we can help ourselves. With this word, I thank you all, and I feel the chat box is open for you. The feedback link has been shared with you. Kindly fill in the feedback form before departure so that we are able to move ahead with the process and you will be issued with the certificates by the CBSE. I hope this 50 minutes, whatever Dear teachers, I have been told that there is some problem coming up in the link for the feedback. I am getting it from the LSSC again and we are reposting it in the group. Please wait for a while. We are sending it again. So we regret the inconvenience that is caused to you, and there is some delay, and the link is being shared. Please find it. And for the comment box, thank you everyone. Neelam ma'am, thank you so much for your kind words. So the link has been posted again. Dear teachers, please see it.
recording बंद कर दिया